If you missed the last episode that I start talking about awakening, my conscious awakening journey, and the reason I'm sharing this journey with you all is to let you guys see what's happening around us and what's keeping us small. And we have a full potential. Our mind is very powerful, but we got kept it so small. And some of the people might feel helpless or victimize themselves. So if you haven't catch the last episode that I shared that I was consciously awakening during 2020 March when we have a lockdown, I'll put the link in the show notes. So we're gonna continue the conversation of my journey of awakening, and this is just to share my story, and hopefully if you can maybe somehow see the difference around you, environment, people, society, government, question everything around you. That's the purpose of this series of video. And so continue on 2020 March, I was starting reading books and try to reprogram myself in my brain. Okay. And I was starting changing my habit too, because we are staying home at the time, lockdown. We couldn't do anything, we couldn't go anywhere. So I start picking up books, start reading, and this is very, very surprising for me because I don't read. I can't read. I don't have the patience to read, but somehow I did. And then from that, during that reading process, I started reprogramming my thinking, my thoughts, my limitations. I started seeing the different pictures. I started do different things. I started building my habits. Like I have a morning habit. I start waking up so early, like 4 or 5 a.m. working out. This has never happened before the lockdown. So unconsciously, by doing these little actions, little steps, task, it changed the way I think. It changed the way I consciously feel around me, and also change my identity. That's the most important thing, because I was still working a 9 to 5, and I just started my real estate business, and so I was doing both jobs at the same time. So, however, during this period, I because of reading books, because building those habits, I start changing my identity without even knowing it. I started think myself as a business person, entrepreneur, and I start implement people who's very successful, their habits, morning habits, and how they run their day-to-day basis. So that's how I start changing my identity within myself first. So now I looking back, I noticed that I have consciously awakened myself during those times. And I'm sure that many of you guys are having that same awakening at the same time. However, right now, 2024, I know a lot of things kind of go back to prior to COVID. And, we are, I do realize a lot of people are back to the rat race, very rushing every morning and just going and going and going and going, just like the battery, right? And a lot of the people is running their life automatic. Nothing, I mean, I'm not putting anybody down, but I just want to point this out. It can be changed, it can be done, because people are like this, myself included before. It's not happy. It's sad. They have depression, they have stress, they have anxiety. So it's not a good feeling, and it's not a good life to live. So that's why I want to point this out, that this can be changed. All we have to do is reprogram our mind. Okay, so conscious. I came across this video. It's from Sadhguru video I want to share with you guys. He's talking about conscious and how so many people in our society today are actually sleeping while they're living. So it's very true. And so I want to share this with you guys. And
Misunderstanding consciousness as just mental alertness. Mental alertness will help you to survive better. Consciousness is not about that. See, you know that you exist right now only because you're conscious, isn't it? You are conscious right now. That's why you know that you're here. Suppose you fell asleep, you don't know that you exist, isn't it? You don't know the world exists, nor do you know that you exist, simply because you're somewhat unconscious. Does it mean to say you're completely unconscious? No, you're still conscious when you're sleeping, but not conscious enough to notice the presence of many things. So consciousness is not whether it is present or absent, it is always there. The question is only the intensity and the volume of it. If we have to use an analogy right now, see, the lights are focused on us, so both of us are clearly seen. There are people hiding in darkness. Suppose you dim the light further, all these people will disappear, only two of us will be there. If you increase the
it's
voltage,
very true.
suddenly they will all appear. They were always here. They were here all the time. Because the lights were dimmed, I could only see you and nobody else. If the lights were up, then you could see. This is all consciousness sees. Everybody is conscious. Question is how conscious. So to increase or to raise consciousness, what have we done in the societies? Our entire education system is just about survival, one being better than the other. How can you be conscious when you're competitive? When all you
Very
want to
true.
do is be better than somebody, your only joy is other people's failures. How will you be conscious? When you're enjoying other people's sufferings, other people's failures, this is what being number one means. I am the number one means what? You're number 10, that's my joy.
No.
So I think this is sickness.
Yes.
From kindergarten, you're spreading this sickness into children and you expect them to be fantastic, it won't work like that. You're paying too much attention to everything around you, not enough attention to this one. But the quality of your life is essentially determined by how you carry this one.
This one is the mind.
This moment, what kind of clothes you're wearing, what kind of car you parked outside, what kind of home you live in does not determine the quality of your life. This moment, how joyful are you feeling within yourself,
Yes.
determines the quality of your life, isn't it so?
Yes, everything is with
Nothing has been done about it. You think it'll happen in consequence, and you're setting impossible goals for your happiness. If I have to be happy, my wife should be like this, my husband should be like that, my children should be like this, the world should become some other way. Well, these are impossible conditions you're setting for your happiness and peacefulness. Now that you have compromised yourself to peace, why I'm saying compromise yourself to peace is because a lot of people have given up aspirations for being ecstatic or blissful. If I'm just peaceful, it's enough. Even the so-called spiritual leaders are going about and saying peace is the highest goal in your life. Peace is not the highest goal in your life. If you want to enjoy your lunch today, you must be peaceful. Yes or no? If you're not even peaceful, there is nothing in your life that you can do in a worthwhile way. To be peaceful essentially means this, that you're not messing your mind. To be peaceful means that your system is at ease. You know how to conduct your mind, you know how to conduct your emotions, your body and your energies. You are peaceful. It is not a rocket technology. It is the most basic thing. You have a dog at home, you give him his food, he sits peacefully. Maybe not ecstatic, but peacefully. Many times they're ecstatic also. Yes?
Okay, so that's the video. It's very motivated and it's explained very deeply on consciousness, and how we control our mind is how we project our life in the external world. So back to my stories. Before I continue on, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, please hit that subscribe button. Back to 2020 March, when I started implement new habits, new thinking, new reading new books, new skill sets, new new knowledge. And so I kept doing that over and over, day by day. And something happened during 2022, which is about 2 years later. My life dramatically changed. Remember how I was saying that by doing those tasks, by building those habits, I somehow changed my identity within. I begin to think I am a successful business person. I'm a successful entrepreneur. So during 2022, I manifest that life to to become a real reality of my own. So during 2022, my business, real estate businesses, was growing to the highest in revenue in sales. I even made it to the top agents of the month in one of the months. So I literally manifest what I desire into my reality. It took about 2 years by doing the things that I normally don't do, reading book and have my consciousness aware. Okay. However, by looking back right now, 2024, looking back to during those 2 years, 2020 to 2022, now I realize, yes, I know how to manifest what I desire, but I don't know how to keep it. That was the skill I haven't mastered at the time. So during 2022, there's a personal experience, which is my mom passed. If you follow my channel, you will know I talk about my mom a lot because we were so close. And so my mom passed the day before Thanksgiving during 2022. And before that, my emotion, even though I was making the most money of the time during that time, but then my emotion was slowly going downward. And again, I I wasn't really pay attention to that. I was just say, okay, I was like, again, focus on the external, the material world. I was like, okay, I'm making good money now, so I don't need to worry. But at the same time, this mom passing is heading my way. And I was very sad when she passed, and I went into a very, very deep depressions, emotions, and it's a trauma that I was facing. And of course, the business was still running at the time. So, long story short, after my mom passing, 2023, actually, I ran into a business that they help people to heal with their traumas or PTSD. And I had an opportunity to interview the doctor. It's very new to me because I never had any, therapy or any some sort of the session with to deal with my emotion. I pretty much kind of dealt with myself throughout the years since I was young. But this time I give it a try. But this therapy or healing, it's it's not the same. It's very different from this, we call it psychology session. It's very different. And this is the first time I came came to experience breathing technique. You might think it's weird, right? Because we all breathing. But again, it's the conscious versus unconscious, because breathing is such a so normal things that we do every day, and we're taking advantage of it. We not even think about it. It's autopilot once again. So what is so special about this breathing therapy is this doctor showed me how to breathe, because many of us, we just breathe. Sometimes we might have stuffy nose, and then a lot of people also breathe from the mouth, not from the nose. And this is actually, it's not healthy for our internal within our flow. It's not flowing if you have the wrong way of breathing. So this therapy really helped me to understand how to breathe and at the same time how to generate energy within me. And and little do I know that really opens other different things in my within my body, consciously and subconsciously. Okay, so I want to share this video with you guys, and their slogan is "Breathe better, sleep better, perform better." So watch this video.
Carbon dioxide is 100% necessary. It is a life-giving gas. It is not a life-taking gas, unless you do the extremes. So how it works is carbon dioxide is used in our body to cause the delivery of oxygen.
Okay.
Without the proper carbon dioxide, the oxygen just runs around in your body and you exhale it. You never even use it.
Okay. I see.
The third purpose of respiration is to manage the acid-alkaline balance of the body.
Mm-hmm.
So now you just look at those three things: oxygen delivery, carbon dioxide, and acid alkalinity. Any one of those not working causes a long chain reaction of other problems.
Right.
So the first thing that I do is I make sure that their body is able to acquire and deliver the oxygen.
Yeah.
To do that, the body has to relearn how to use the diaphragm.
Okay.
And it's really more of a reflexive, aha, in the
Okay.
body about how to breathe.
Yeah, because it's already programmed certain ways, right? And
Right.
then
The
you have
program's
to
still there.
retrain your body, kind of, sort of.
Mm-hmm.
So, as I mentioned earlier, because since I lost my mom recently,
Mm-hmm.
and at first I thought, okay, of course I'm sad, but I didn't thought it was that bad emotionally.
You were unprepared for how hard
Yeah,
it was
because
going to
I
be.
thought, yeah, because in our family we never lost anyone that close.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, okay, I probably all my emotion, I'll just let it be whatever until, let's say, first of the year this year. So when the year came, I I still didn't know. I still try to work and try to not think about it and work very hard, and start hit me February, which when I start
I think
meeting you
that's when I
guys.
first met you.
Yes. So what I start experiencing is 1 week I feel protected. I can do work and I'm not tired. And the following week I start feeling a little down, depressed. I don't know why, and I start feeling sick. Um, yeah. So and then I sleep. Actually, I feel tired and sleep more. And I feel start feeling procrastinating, and some appointment I couldn't meet or I have to cancel or reschedule. So this pattern going on, and what you just described maybe kind of related to this as well.
Very
Similar?
much so. And
Yeah.
first of all, my deepest condolences.
Thank you.
Losing your mom is,
Yes.
there's nothing to even say here.
Right.
So my condolences.
Thank you so much. Yeah.
There's two camps here.
Okay.
Every part of your description
Mhm.
was related to how your heart, your mind, I'll say your soul cries out for relief, that you're in pain, you're
Right.
grieving,
Hmm.
and there's a feeling of being lost inside of that.
Yes, a little bit. Yes.
Because it's so overwhelming, and you still have to live your life, and
Yeah.
and life doesn't care, and you're carrying this burden.
Mm.
So there's that.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a
I
psychologist,
know.
so I wouldn't know how to work with you on that basis, other than
Right.
being a friend,
Of course. Of course. Yeah.
But I am a physiologist,
Yeah.
and so what I would do is
Mhm.
I would take you through a breathing process.
Mm.
And what that breathing process does is it's very specific
Uh-huh.
to bringing the stress hormones in your body down.
Okay.
Okay?
Right.
The angst, the upset, the stress, the fear, the anger,
Mhm.
those are all chemicals
Mhm.
and electrical discharges in your brain before
Mm-hmm.
you ever feel the feeling.
Mm. Okay.
So electrochemical happens first, then we feel the feeling.
Okay. Right.
So a psychologist or somebody who does counseling of some kind
Right.
would address you in that stage.
Stage. Okay.
The stage I address in is the one that's right before that.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that what happens is that we're working to bring down the electrochemistry
Yes.
responsible for making you feel bad.
Mm.
This has the effect of that you would be aware still
Right.
of what has taken place, but it's not torturous to you anymore
Okay. Yeah.
as it is now.
Right. I do kind of, because before that I was feeling more confident, wasn't so worried, afraid, and the biggest part is I don't feel loneliness somehow. Even when we have COVID lockdown, I don't even feel lonely. But now I can go anywhere, but I have this sense of emptiness somehow.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well,
So
your mom obviously played a major role in your
right,
life, as
right.
moms do. I mean, um, and again, so this is a trauma for you,
Yes.
and we experience trauma primarily through the mind.
Oh, okay. Right.
What your descriptions, everything,
Mm-hmm.
and everything that you described
Right.
are on the list of PTSD civilian.
Yeah.
Every one of those,
Mm-hmm.
including the not feeling lonely or the change in your feelings,
Right.
um, and even not feeling sometimes is what happens here.
Okay.
So over feeling and then not
Not
feeling.
feeling. Okay.
Let me give you an analogy
Okay.
to
Sure.
work with.
All right.
Let's say that there's a lightning storm
Hmm.
and it's over a forest and there's a lightning strike on a tree.
Okay.
That leads to a forest fire.
Yes.
Now there's a raging forest fire.
Fine. Uh-huh.
Question: do we go looking for where the lightning strike was as our first strategy to combat the problem, or do
No.
we go fight the fire?
Fight the fire.
That's what I do. I fight the fire.
Okay.
The fire is a physical thing,
Mm-hmm.
and firefighters of that type, and I've had patients that were in that world of fighting fires in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
They talk about fire as though it is a living entity
Okay.
because it almost has moods. It changes, and it's
Right.
like a person changes their direction, their mind.
Right.
So your situation is the death itself. That's the lightning strike.
Uh-huh.
It's what's happened inside your body that has you suffering.
Okay. I
So
see.
after a death,
Mm-hmm.
perhaps your breathing is not optimal.
Mm-hmm.
Your sleep is not optimal. All these physiological things are happening. And so that's where I put my attention.
Okay.
And the treatments are designed to address a person's trauma,
Uh-huh.
not from the psychological,
Right.
purely from the physiological.
Okay.
And guess what? It always works.
Mm-hmm.
At the end of the process, I've worked with many people who have complex PTSD.
Okay.
That's the worst kind.
Okay.
And by the way, just so the audience knows this,
Mm-hmm.
even in the DSM-5, the manual for the diagnosis and the codes for this, it says right in there that complex PTSD, the worst one,
Mm-hmm.
is nothing more than runaway chronic stress. Stress of a severe, extreme nature. That's what it is. So I ask this question a lot. Where do we go to actually work on the chronic stress?
Mm.
Answer is nowhere.
Nowhere.
Everywhere you go, let's say you get a massage.
Right.
That would be working directly on the muscle tension part of the stress.
Yeah.
But as a
On the
big
shoulder.
picture thing,
Right.
it doesn't really address the stress on the physiological level.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I decided to do, coming from chronic pain, which is very stressful,
Yes.
is to focus everything on the stress component. So we have these
Right.
three stress hormones: adrenaline, cortisol, and norepinephrine.
Mhm.
Those three in our system are responsible for all the stress you feel.
Oh, wow.
Now,
Okay.
if I take those out, does the death of your mom change?
Okay, thank you for tuning in and watch this second series of the 5 series. So please follow, subscribe, and hit that notification button. So once I release the third one, couple days, then you will get the notification. Thank you again, and I'll see you guys next time.